Dario, you've said that AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20%. How soon might that happen?
Well, well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. But just to back up a little bit, I've been building AI for over a decade. And I think maybe the most salient feature of the technology and what is driving all of this is how fast the technology is getting better. A couple of years ago, you could say that AI models were maybe as good as a smart high school student. I would say that now they're as good as a smart college student and sort of reaching past that. I really worry, particularly at the entry level, that the AI models are very much at the center of what an entry level human worker would do. And so it's hard to estimate, exactly what the impact would be. And there's always this question of adaptation. And these technology changes have happened before, but I think what is striking to me about this AI boom is that it's bigger and it's broader and it's moving faster than anything has before. And so compared to previous technology changes, I'm a little bit more worried about the labor impact simply because it's happening so fast that yes, people will adapt, but they may not adapt fast enough. And so there may be an adjustment period.
Hey man, how y'all feel about this, fam? Are we worried yet? Is it real yet? I didn't think that this was real, They were talking about AI this and AI that. I was like, man, AI ain't about to take my job. I ain't afraid of Allen Iverson. I ain't afraid of AI. Nah, man, I'm afraid now, bro. I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. If I could be vulnerable for a second, I am restless about this, because I don't think that I have a shot. I don't think that I have a chance against AI. I don't think that y'all do either. A lot of y'all won't make it. Shoot, I might not make it. like for real, bro. Like, this is sad. Because really sit down and think about it. AI doesn't need breaks. AI doesn't need healthcare, dental care, FMLA, any of that. Think about all the expenses that go with hiring somebody. That's going to be completely out of the equation now when it comes to businesses operating. Their overhead's going to be way lower, So, what do we do now, man? We're going to have to find a way to adapt. We're going to have to find a way. And if you're not going to use AI or if you're not willing to learn it, you're going to struggle on this job market. I've seen this movie before. Do you guys remember John Henry? So for those of you that do not know, there was a very popular movie. It was an animated series called John Henry. Now, John Henry was this big old mandingo, from the South, right? And he was a railroad worker, and he was huge. He was like 6'5", 250, and he was building these railroads. And this is before any technology was created. He was just hammering the stakes, and he was the fastest around town. He was so fast, he was so strong, he could carry twice the amount of railroad equipment that the normal man could carry, and he could nail in the stakes twice as fast, right? It was incredible. And he was known all around the country as being the hardest working man to live. And so a man came in town with a new contraption. It was a new machine. And this is placed back in the late 1800s, right around the time the Industrial Revolution was starting to kick off. And so this dude came into town with this machine, and he challenged John Henry. And he went all around town with this machine looking for John Henry, claiming that this was faster than him. This was the fastest piece of equipment in all around town. And so John Henry took him up on the challenge, and they raced. They built a railroad, and they raced. And they built the railroad, I think it was for 24 hours, side by side, laying down the train tracks. And John Henry worked so hard, spoiler alert, John Henry worked so hard that he ended up dying, right? He died of exhaustion, but he still won, right? He won the race, but it cost him everything. He died. But the machine was still good, right? The machine didn't even need maintenance. The machine could have kept going for another 24 hours. And John Henry is killed over in the dirt, right? So I've seen this movie before. I feel like John Henry up in this mug. You know, I ain't going out like that though. We about to have a different ending. I don't know about you guys, but my point is, it feels like it's man versus machine, artificial machines at this point. It's not even a mechanical machine. It's artificial. It's artificial, man. This is nuts. Like, how do you guys feel about your future? What do you guys think 50 years from now is going to look like? I think it's going to look crazy. I think that we can't run from AI. We can't hide from AI. We're going to be forced to comply. And there will be some jobs that will pop up, in every industry for compliance, right? Because every time there is a new system or a new technology created, there has to be rules, regulations, and compliance that goes along with it, right? There's always barriers. There's always barriers and perimeters for safety, right? So I do feel like there is going to be a new job market for that, and that's where I'm headed. But this is so sad, fam. This is so unfortunate because, like, how do you fix this? Like the man said earlier, 20% of the people aren't going to have their job anymore. Now, what if 10% of those 20% of people that lose their job, what if they don't want to adapt to the times, to the change? They're going to get left behind. They're going to get left behind. This is pretty sad, bro. It is what it is. I'm worried as a content creator. Like, what happens if AI replaces content creators? What happens if they create an AI with charisma and wit, and the AI has great jokes and is a great storyteller? We won't be here anymore, right? Me making videos will be pointless because the AI will be able to create content, in a manner that is just perfect. Right? It'll be pure perfection. The quality, the audio, everything, the transitions, the editing. It'll be flawless. And pretty soon, people like myself, that do videos in their car or in their office or they have a backdrop, we're going to be totally obsolete because they're gonna be creating content using AI. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be at a level that we just can't even come close. Not to sound like a beach or a sandy beach, not to sound like a coward, but like this is gonna be groundbreaking, bro. Like, there's a reason why all of these top Fortune 500 companies, there's a reason why they are writing blank checks to these tech companies. It's all for a reason. It's all for a reason. There's a reason why other countries are competing. They are racing. It's not an arms race. It's an AI race. It's a tech race. There's a reason that all of these countries are racing to get the best AI, right? Because that's going to change the landscape for your entire company, your entire city, your entire nation. It's going to change everything, So let me know what you guys think about this. I'm not saying that you should be scared. Just get informed. I'm in the artificial intelligence Reddit group. I read a lot of articles. I started subscribing to YouTubers that are data scientists because that's who create the AI algorithms, is data scientists. I'm just trying to learn about this as much as I can, as frequently as I can, so that I can adjust, so I can make my money, so I can have it work for me, right? So I don't get left behind. And I hope you're doing the same. God bless to you and your family. If you are watching this, do not be scared. Chest out, chin up, figure it out. Figure it out. Figure out how you can adapt. Figure out how you can improve with these changes. Figure out where the opportunities are. Have a positive mindset. Be open to the possibility that this will work in your favor, even if it looks like that's not the case. You got to be optimistic, right? Because thoughts become reality. So I don't want people down in the dumps. It's not, just because I'm restless doesn't mean that I'm going to be depressed. I just feel like there's so many undetermining factors. There's so many unknown determining factors that are going to, change our lives, that it's hard to feel comfortable. It's hard to feel good when you don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, man, when there's a will, there's a way. You feel me? So please leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch my content, to watch my videos. I love you all. Without you guys, I am nothing. And yeah, man, happy Monday. Have a good week. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.